Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. Every part of Nigeria have been crying and screaming to the federal government, to their state government, over the activities of Fulani Herdsmen. Take, for instance, in Southeast, in Ibarakpa, Oyo State, that those were very explicit. Ogun State, even some part of Ondo, until Keredodo had to step up his game both legally and formally to ensure that his people were protected. But right now, unfortunately or surprisingly, it is beginning to hit the south region of the country, particularly River State. And the way they are going about it looks like they actually came very prepared, and they're already crying out to Governor Yoson Wike. They're crying out to the government, they're crying out to the authorities, they're crying out to anybody who cares to help them out over the matter. It is really serious, and the pattern of play is getting out of hand. And they have written an episode to that effect. In a moment, we're going to give you all the lowdown of what Fulani Herdsmen is doing in their community. And in fact, it's one of the prominent communities in Rivers State. Before going to the news proper, I'd like you to subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, the Ogoni Elders Forum, also known as Bokambari Ogoni, on Monday said it is compelled to raise an urgent alarm over the menacing encroachment on farmlands in some Ogoni communities by armed herdsmen who brazenly graze cows on their farms. In a statement signed by Monday Abua, chairman and chairman and Desmond Ebete, secretary of the Ogoni Elders Forum, alleged that for the past weeks, armed Fulani herdsmen have occupied vast areas of farmlands under effective cultivation in Ogoni communities of Lukan, Ba, Seme Lukan, and there in Hana local government area, Etwe in Eleme local government area of River State. The statement reads thus: the invaders, armed with sophisticated weapons, especially AK-47 rifles, some of which are strapped to their cows, have driven away farmers from their farmlands in whole River State. Let's continue. Forcefully occupying farmlands and are grazing their cows on cultivated crops. My God, we are particularly concerned by the fact that when confronted by community leaders and representatives of our people, they threatened mayhem and even boasted that the powers that be and the security agencies are aware of their presence and would decisively deal with our people if further confronted. With so much sense of deja vu, when we became aware of arrangement by HYPREP for the drafting of soldiers to Ogoni communities, ostensibly to provide security services for the Ogoni cleanup and remediation project. We vigorously protested against the plan via letters to both the Vice President and the Minister of Environment. We saw the planned militarization of our land as a ploy with some sinister motives, since we could not understand why such militarization would be needed for a cleanup exercise that we, as a people, enthusiastically want to be properly carried out to save our lives and environment. The current invasion by armed herdsmen and their boastfulness that they are being protected, quote and unquote, by security agents now seem to justify our worst fears. We want to raise this alarm to the authorities that be and alert all lovers of justice in the world that our people cannot afford to be victims of another pogrom. We have had pitiable sad history in recent times of being massively killed, as well as having the very basis of our livelihood devastated by decades of wanton environmental devastation. Our people mainly depend on subsistence farming as their source of livelihood and sustenance, and do not want any further attempt to add the menace of the marauding invasion by these armed herdsmen to the toxic mix. We are therefore calling on the government and its apparatus to protect our lives and property as a people, even as we demand the immediate evacuation of these herdsmen and their cows from our farmlands. The lives and livelihood of our people cannot and must not be sacrificed for cows. Oh my God. And just some days back, the militia, Niger Delta militia, was talking. Now this is the time to protect their people. Are they not going to look into the issue of protecting? Now let's look at this critically. Ogoni people calling out the federal government, calling out the powers that be, and judging the fact that according to them, they allegedly said that these herdsmen boastfully told them that look, they cannot do anything, they should allow them to graze on a cultivated farmland. Don't forget that this is not new in some regions. If you go down to Southwest, if you move down to Oyo State, if you go down to Ibarakpa, go down to Igongo, this story is the same. If you move down to the Southeast, if you move down to Benue, this story is the same. If you move down to some parts of the Southeastern region, the story is the same. It's the same narrative, probably a bit different here, little differences here, but the same storyline. And the question is, the Ogoni people calling out, they should also look at all these past experiences of other regions. How did it, where did it amount to? When they made a call, where did it head to? What was the end result? And that way they should, know what to do per time. They have called. I am surprised, very surprised, because we have in the same river state, we have the likes of the Tombolos, we have the likes of uh, the likes of Asaridokubos, who are known to be champions. When I mean champions, when they say nay, is nay. When they say yea, is yea. They got boys, they got able youth that listen to them when they call, they hearken to their calls, and they're able men, old women crying out that their farmlands are being invaded. And this same AK-47 we're talking about was prohibited by the president. At some point, President Muhammad Buhari said that they shouldn't even allow them to carry those and that they should shoot aside. I remember the governor Tom doing a reminder over that matter. And we still have things like this. And have you now seen to a great extent why you see ESN, Nnamdi Kanu, still establishing ESN, and why you see some of the Indians strongly supporting ESN? Is things like this. Why should now they talked about grazing routes, that they will do enact grazing routes. The question is there any grazing route in River State? They have already identified them, and amongst those states, none is actually from South. I think Oyo and Ogun have. I think that's about the only two that is from the southern part of Nigeria. The rest are in the north. Then why are they still carrying herdsmen into southern part of the country? And why are they carrying weapons to do that? Do you beat the cow to submission with weapons? I thought those days we always know them carrying sticks, why weapons, and being boastful enough to spoil people's cultivation. Have you now understood? Do we now see the reasons why the likes of Governor Keredolu is standing firm? They said no open grazing. The southern governors have sat and they have banned it, but up till now they're grazing. Nothing is happening. For crying out loud, how do we get to this level? Let's put in our comment section, please. What's your take? Now it is now heading to the rivers